All right, problem 2.3.39, Algebra 2, Math XL homework. Looks like we've got a snorkeler diving down here. I think I remember something sort of like this as the introduction on one of our problems, but they're going to follow, instead of a V on the problem we did before, it's probably a parabola since that's what we're working on, so it's got a curved bottom. The snorkeler dives for a shell on a reef. After entering the water, the diver descends 10/3 feet in 1 second. So write an equation for a parabola that models the diver's vertical position y with respect to time t. So snorkeler dives for a shell. After entering the water, the diver descends 10/3 feet in 1 second. Come up with an equation for this model. So showing this, you got a point here, then you've got this one over here, and at 12 seconds they're back up here to the surface again. So sounds to me like the missing piece in the story that they gave us up at the top would be, we've got 1 second with the 10/3. We've got the point 12, 0, and we've got the point 3, 0 that's given over in the story. So these are like ordered pairs here in the story. I don't see where it was up in the story, so I'm taking it from the graph, assuming they just, a snorkeler dives, enter into the water, they go 10/3 feet in 1 second. So I'm not real positive. This doesn't really make sense for the bottom, because if it's 3 seconds, 0, and then at 12 back up to the top, and that's supposed to be a parabola. I'm just not sure about this. After entering the water, the diver descends 10/3 feet in 1 second. That 3 seconds at 0 feet, still thinking this through, would be like this point actually, and then down and back up. So if this is at 3 feet 0 seconds, I think that's just an extra point that's right there that they're giving us. So we've got that point that's given of 1 and 10/3. So it's going to be back to knowing these two problems. We have the two factors. And then we're going to use the third point to solve and see if there's a stretch factor in there. So when I put a 1 in for these two x's, this is my x. So I've used these two for the factors. And then the 10/3 is my y, to see what the equation would come out to. So 1 minus 12 would be -11, 1 minus 3, -2. Multiply those, I've got 22a there equals the 10/3. Since I've got a fraction over there, I would be inclined, instead of normally dividing by 22, writing it as multiply by 1 over 22, so that I could just go like this. Reduce maybe. This 22 and this 10, 2 will divide into each of those, 5 and 11. So I'm getting a 5/33 for my a value. So we put that 5/33 back here, and we should have our final equation. 5/33, x minus 12, and x minus 3 for my equation for that scuba diver. So I hope that helps. Again, having to stop and really think and look at it and try to figure some things out from the story. I don't get them right off the bat, especially the story problems. It takes a while to kind of get all the pieces out of the story that you can actually use. So problem 2.3.39 on Algebra 2 Math XL homework.